Welcome back, you're watching Overdrive. The show this week has a distinct Japanese flavour. From Toyota, it's now on to Kawasaki and Bajaj. Bajaj has put out the 2012 edition of the Kawasaki Ninja 650R, and the last generation bike impressed us so much that Shumi couldn't wait to get his hands on this one. Here's his verdict.
So I'm just picking up the new Ninja 650 for a road test, and as you can see behind me, I'm picking it up from a KTM shop. Bajaj has decided to sell their premium bikes out of their Probiking network, which is now branded KTM. Kawasaki's will be sold through the network, but there's no branding on the signage outside. But let's focus on the motorcycle and find out what's good about it, because the last one was very, very impressive. When the Kawasaki Ninja came to India for the first time, we had a brief fling with it and were left quite impressed. Not just with the motorcycle itself, but also with the price at which you could buy one. Sure enough, the motorcycle was sold out within weeks and enthusiasts were left waiting for bookings to reopen. Cheer up all you bikers, because the Ninja 650 is now back. The motorcycle received a comprehensive upgrade in the 2012 model, and now the 2013 model has added optional ABS, which unfortunately we aren't getting in India. The big change visually is the styling. There's a new set of twin headlamps and large new vents like the ZX-10R on the fairing. Further behind, the seat is a new stepped unit, but the changes you'll be happy to know aren't cosmetic alone. This is substantially a new motorcycle from the Ninja 650 we had here earlier. The chassis is all new, now featuring a twin tube frame, a longer shock with new settings, a little more trail and closer set foot pegs. But let us talk about the engine first. The thing with paired motorcycles is that all the magic is hidden in here. In this case, it's not an all-new engine, it's a tweaked engine. It makes a little more power, a little more torque, and you can feel it on the road. It's a small difference, but it is a significant difference. What I do wish though was that the voice of the parallel twin was a little more evocative rather than mechanical at low revs. So when you're trundling along in the city and you open the throttle, you hear a scratchy mechanical sound rather than, that sound that you have in your head, that howling sound of a big engine, getting ready to go. That doesn't happen, but everything else does. The Ninja will hit 100 kilometers per hour in 4.61 seconds and has a top speed just over 200 kilometers per hour. Solid numbers. But it also manages over 30 kilometers to the liter on the highway and about 16 in the city. It's a smooth engine in feel and pulls hard right off idle, which makes it easy to ride around town. Anything over 100 is very quiet and smooth too, so highway work is effortless as well. What I loved about the previous Ninja is the fact that I could imagine myself commuting on it, touring on it, and more. And this promises all that, but with more eagerness. The old Ninja 650 wasn't hardcore. What it was a clever balance that worked in the real world really, really impressively. The only problem I had with it was if you were leaned over in the corner and you hit a bump, it tended to unsettle the motorcycle. This one gets an all-new chassis, completely different suspension settings, and what it allows it to do is take the edge off these bumps. So what you get is still a very sharp, very clean handling package that can now also handle the bumps in the middle of the corner. Like I said, extremely impressive in the real world. Still more impressive is how the suspension takes the edge of fairly large bumps, making the ride impressively supple without losing the stiffness and sporty feel needed to keep the handling secure and interesting. It makes the Ninja that much more useful in every way on our roads, and owners, I promise, will be thrilled with their Kawasaki's. So what did I do with the 650 today? I rode it down the highway, I rode it down this curvy road, and I did 50 kph in top gear in traffic, and the motorcycle worked absolutely as I expected it to in every one of these situations. Perhaps that's why Bajaj want to call this a practical superbike, and it really is. It is practical, you can use it every day. And it is in its nature what a superbike might be to you. But this time it's going to cost you a little more money. For that money, you get a much better chassis, you get slightly more power from the engine, and you get that same very nice proposition that the Ninja 650 started out as. It still remains one of my favorite superbikes in the country, and that's my final word on this.